It's been a minute since I put out a video, but I've got one together for you now. And we've been back to Wisconsin 2 times. That's all my seedlings and Al and I, 264 miles up and back and up and back. We did it, and I'd love to tell you all about the adventure. So we're up in Door County, and we had a bunch of fallen branches. So I've decided to make an obelisk out of them. And right now we're trying to figure out how to make the bottom 4 posts go. So what seemed like a relatively easy project wasn't quite as easy as you'd imagine. We tried string because that's what we had, and then we tried some floral wire because that's what I had, and now I'm using zip ties. I didn't really want to use plastic, but this is gonna last for a little while, and we needed it to be strong, and I'm going to cover it with twine. Well, I've got it together with the help of Al, zip tied the 4 poles, and then we wove an extra thin one through the center. Next step is adding some jute and some tiny rope to kind of cover up the zip ties. Oh, and we were gonna put some grapevine around it. Well, we put some extra pieces woven in here to help the vines crawl up this. And now I'm getting this covered with some jute twine so that it, number one is more stable. Number 2, we cover up those zip ties that we used for stabilization that don't look quite as nice as the natural jute. So the next thing we're gonna do is trim up those bars, make them a little bit shorter, and then wrap some grapevine. Well, there she is, all finished and wrapped with a spiral of grapevine. Turned out pretty good for a first try at it. I am outside in this bluster to do some sweet pea sowing right there. I've had them soaking for about 12 hours, and I'm going to get them going. One is for the Door County Seed Library Kitchen Garden Project, and the other container is for me. I'm getting the seeds sown now. These were seeds that were donated to the seed library. They've been soaking, which typically helps germination. These are paper towel rolls that I cut down slightly, but they give that long taproot a great way to get started. I've also added some of my saved seed. It was a type of sweet pea that had a really high level of fragrance. Well, Al, I, and all the seedlings made yet another trip to Door County, and I'm going to stay a little bit longer. I was involved in a little tomato event where some of my tomato seeds were given away that I had saved, and I am going to be involved in a Q&A panel on Saturday, so we're going to stay for that. It's quite a nice event. It's called Every Day is Earth Day. And so we are going to make another obelisk for the Door County Seed Library kitchen garden project. Well, my friend, the mini chainsaw, helped us get these sapling trees from the property cut, and we've used the pruners to get them in order, and now we'll put together that second obelisk. We extended our stay up here in Door County for a few days so that I could take part in a Q&A panel on Every Day is Earth Day. So that means I have some tomato babies that need potting up. So I bought myself some potting mix and some extra vermiculite and perlite to lighten it up even more. I'm getting that mixed up. But what I bought to plant these up in, because I have so much stuff back in Chicago, I really didn't need extra. I just got some clear party cups and some aluminum tins for baking, and that'll work. And I cut a little triangle out of the bottom of each of these cups, and that's what I'm going to pot up in. Part one is done now. I need to bring them inside where they can warm up next to the fire, because although it's beautiful and sunny out here, it is not warm. They're inside now, cozied up to the stove and getting warm. I've spent the afternoon potting up my tomato seedlings here at the Door County house. Wasn't a job I was expecting to do, but we weren't expecting to stay this long. And they're doing really well. The hardest part is always euthanizing the extra. This is like the 8th time I've gone through and taken them out, so there's only one per. But the tumblers are going crazy. They're all this big or bigger. And that's not unexpected, because the packet said we could have tomatoes within 56 days or so from germination. So that's exciting. I'll get them all potted up, and I'll do the rest when we get back home. Well, it was down to Sturgeon Bay for participation in the kitchen garden project that the Door County Seed Library is doing this year. Kathy, the homeowner, has generously donated a large portion of her yard for the project. There will be multiple display areas: straw bale gardening, 3 sisters, container gardening, a respite area with pollinator attractors, and a 2-person sustainable garden. But before any of that could happen, a bunny fence had to be erected. When we were digging the raspberries out, there was a lot of bunny manure. You could just see how many bunnies visit this garden regularly. So there's Verge, our leader, digging the trench, and Patrick's helping on that side as well, while Lee, Kathy, and Alan are figuring out where the gate meets up to the fencing. And the girls then worked on the compost area. It was a 3-bay pallet system, and we got the compost moved, and a new 3-bay system will be built to replace this in another area. That compost was gorgeous, definitely black gold. This project is great. There are many people that are starting seedlings for it. The Master Gardener Group, volunteers, and people like myself. It's all going to come together amazingly. And there's 50% of the bunny fence built out in one day. It was great. Many hands make light work, that's for sure. Al and I brought down 2 obelisks that we built out of branches. The small one will be used probably for sweet peas, and the large one is going to be used for gourds. Kathy, the homeowner, is a musician, so the gourds will be made into instruments. My last event for the week was Every Day is Earth Day. I sat on a little Q&A panel about seed saving, and I worked our booth at the event, helping people select seeds that were right for their garden from the corporate donations and the seeds that people had saved and that we purchased with donation money. Mary made a nice little box of my own personal saved seeds, which made me feel really good. And by the end of the day, there were very few packages left. And as you can see, there are both corporate donations and the seeds that we packaged up ourselves. Well, here's the seedlings packed up to travel back to the Chicagoland area. Tomatoes and peppers and celery and celeriac, shallots and onions and all kinds of flowers, basil, rosemary, and I don't know how we're going to get them all in the car, but we'll do it somehow. And there's one last look at the lake. On the drive, we heard quite a commotion. There was excitement. The farmer was tilling the field, and apparently all kinds of things were being exposed for breakfast. I was the National Gardening Day Instagram winner from Quarto Books. I got the updated version of the Square Foot Gardening book, Your Natural Garden, Kitchen Garden Living, Plants with Superpowers, The Water Smart Garden, The 10-Minute Gardener, and Organic Vegetable Gardening. I want to dip into this one immediately. Isn't that exciting? Thank you, Allie in Canada, for sending me the link to enter this contest. I'm really enjoying being a volunteer for the Door County Seed Library. Not only saving seeds to package for giveaway, but the other events that go along with being a volunteer. And I'm particularly liking the Kitchen Garden Project. And I hope you'll stick around to watch it unfold as the months progress. And it's almost manic phase here in my own garden, so things are starting to happen fast. It's exciting. Remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one.